G'day, great things again. We're going to continue with salaries and wages. We've already looked at the salary scale. The next section of work that we need to look at is the salaries journal. Okay, let's get this going. All right. Okay, the salaries and wages salary journal. To do this, you are going to, in your books, probably need to take out a double page and paste it in so that you've got 8 folios next to each other. That's what actually works the best. However, you can also do it underneath. Depends on how many deductions the organization has. In this case, I made it the simplest form that you can have. Right, so this is an example where I've got my salaries journal, I've got it for a specific month, and then obviously for a specific person. So my who, my what, and my when is clear. I'm going to go and unpack the different components of it now. So we've got a list of the employees' names, so the name and the surname of the individual will be there. The gross salary that the person is entitled to, this is the amount that was negotiated prior to deduction. So this amount will include deductions. So the deductions that I've got over here is SARS PAYE that we've discussed and UIF. So the UIF, as you can see, is a 1% of the gross salary for both the employer and at contribution and the employee at deductions. So if I add the two deductions together, I've got the total amount of deductions that we're going to have, right? So these two deductions would then be subtracted from my gross salary, and that gives me my net salary. Net salary is also known as my creditors for wages, or creditors for salaries in this instance. If I have then go and add the UIF contribution, I've got my cost to the company. So in this case, my cost to company would be my gross salary of 15,800 plus the UIF contribution of 158 Rand. These two figures added together will give me my 15,985 Rand is the amount that this organization will have to contribute to salaries, in this case for Mr. Mbata. My wages journal looks similar to the salaries journal. The only thing that's added is prior to the term my gross wage. This gross wage will comprise out of, as I explained to you earlier, my normal wage and my overtime. So normal wage will be at a rate per hour. So in my example, I've got my 40 hours and I've got my rate of 40 Rand. So in total per week, this person gets a normal wage of 1,600 Rand. If he worked 8 hours overtime, so in totality, this person worked 48 hours, and he gets an hour and a half per overtime, so he gets 60 Rand per overtime. So in totality, he gets 480 Rand overtime. So if I add the normal time to my overtime, I'm going to get a gross wage of 2,080 Rand. Okay, right. So normal hours plus overtime gives me my gross wage. The rest of this looks exactly the same way as my salaries journal looks. With other words, I'm going to have my UIF, my staff association, etc., etc. List them individually, add them together for my total deductions. Total deductions are subtracted from gross wage, and that then gives me my net wage. Another term for net wage would then be my creditors for wages. This, if I take my gross wage and I add my contribution to it, I've got the total amount that wages is going to contribute to, or cost to company for this week, would be, therefore, my 2,096 Rand if I include the 16 Rand contribution. And that's it. That is salaries and wages journals. Okay, let's stop the meeting.